We're back, episode 15, the Enlisted Real Estate Podcast. We got Brian Baker.
What's up?
I am Richie Fortunato, and we're doing we're back on our own this week. Just me and Brian. So you guys have to deal with us talking the whole time instead of somebody more interesting.
Uh-oh. I feel like we're getting close to getting off the Zoom, though.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. We need
traffic. Traffic this morning coming into the sales office was crazy. Tons and tons of people. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah. I know coming home from work, it's a lot more traffic. It was nice during the quarantine. There was no traffic. I was home in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
But
I know.
I'm ready to get back in a studio.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we could be official.
I wish. That's the dream. But
that is the dream.
So this week,
sponsors.
Yeah, we want to sponsor us. We're available. We're pretty cheap right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'd be
the standards are low. What's our topic today?
Today we're talking about, for new home counselors, selling in a community where you have a lot of competition. So you got these master plan communities where you'll have 5, 6, 7 builders, or if you're just in an area where you have a lot of competition, it's the same idea. So talk about how we overcome that, and how you get the person to buy your house when they can go next door and see 8 more builders.
Yeah,
we dealt with. You're in a community like that right now.
Yeah.
So how many builders do you have in yours?
So it's growing and shrinking at the same time. So we're towards the end of our community. So we've got some of the builders are closing out, selling the last few homes that they've got, and then there's a new builder that just kind of came into the area. So they'll kind of start a little bit more fresh. But that gives us about 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 builders in relatively a 1 mile radius. So a lot of competition for sure. A lot of competition.
So how do you, because we did it, in Orchard Hills,
mm-hmm.
we had another builder right next door, but we only had 2 in our community. But you can go, it was at the time in Horizons West, you had every builder in Central Florida.
Oh yeah.
They were going everywhere from Taylor Morrison to DR Horton, Lennar, Madden. You name it, they're out there.
Yep.
So you had a once you got them in your door, you kind of had to chain them to your desk. So you don't want them to leave because they're going to somewhere else.
That's right.
So what are some of the things you do to keep them with you versus going out and going, say, to the new builder down the street?
Yeah. So for me, my process of selling is more or less just trying to create the relationship. So I like to, when they come in, I want to talk to them and figure out what do you really need, and showing them that I actually I'm listening, right? So I care more than the next person, and that's kind of my personal tactic because at the end of the day, right? All of us have incentives. We've all got something that we're doing better than the other person. So which one of those is that particular customer going to jump on and be like, oh, that's the one. So when I can find, that ground that they're really, trying to search for, that's where I try to kind of get into the door with them. So rather than just looking for a 2-bed, that, and then leaving it at that, trying to dig a little bit and just understand the why. And what are they running from, or what are they leaving, and how can I help them accomplish that? So and that's something I've gotten back a lot is comments like, you actually listened to me. It was cool. We talked, and it wasn't just, you were just trying to sell a home. You were trying to help us, and that's been a big benefit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of having a little bit of that empathy and trying to touch them on a different level versus. How often they come into the model and people, they're expecting a used car salesman and,
mm-hmm.
Come and, tackle you at that front door and wrap you up with some chains and drag you to the desk.
Yeah.
Which, sometimes you need to do, but so, it's definitely different. There's a lot of tactics out there. to sell against another builder. But, I think some of the other important things to think about are knowing like who's the competition, like who are you competing against? Not just the company, right? But then the sales consultants.
Mm-hmm.
So you have certain sales consultants out there that, are, good and, are honorable, and you honestly could share information back and forth as far as like, hey, like I have nothing in this realm, or maybe it's you can't your price point is lower than what I can touch, and I can't do anything for you, but I know somebody else that can, and you create that relationship with the other sales consultants, in that neighborhood. And for me, yes, of course, like you want to keep it within house, but at the same time, if that community is selling, you will be selling, because if I'm the only builder in this community selling out of 8 different builders, people are going to question. They're going to be like, well, I don't want to buy there because the values are not going to be there if nobody else can sell a home, right? So it's a benefit for everybody to be successful, just to keep kind of moving and creating that equity and for the growth.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, because, you have to know your competition. I like to know the people and like how they actually build the house. So the construction is very important for me.
Yeah.
That, some people care, some people don't care, but the ones that care want to know, and you better know the difference.
Yep.
And so, and that is a way to that always made me stand out. But I was never one to, if somebody came in and I just don't have what they want, or I was not in their price point, I had no problem sending them somewhere else.
Right.
Like, hey, go check this builder out. Because listen, we want to keep it in house, but you're not going to get everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'd rather keep it in the area, because the faster they sell, the faster they're out of here, and the more people are coming towards me.
Absolutely.
So, not all salespeople are like that.
That is true.
Some people just listen. If I don't have what you want, good luck. I'll see you later. They don't. So, but
I have times where I will, just relationship wise, right? I will try to go out of my way to find them information to help them. If I know I have nothing for them, but I'll figure out some information and I'll connect them with people. And then I have times where they think I'm like a general real estate realtor. Like I can take them. Oh, well, can you just take me here and here? And I'm like, well, I'm not an actual general real estate. I'm not a realtor anymore. I am, new home sales. So like, but I think it's funny, just putting in that extra effort and doing that. But my goal for that is just relationships. So whether it's a realtor, they're going to be like, that guy, first of all, knowledgeable and help me out, with the customer. And same with the customer. I mean, they may have a friend or family member who's looking. We all always do, right?
Yeah.
So, man, this guy was awesome. You should go see him, So I think that's good to know that.
Yeah, you might not get that person, but you might get the referral, and they'll tell other people. So even now, like I have no inventory in my community. I get people all the time like, listen, I want to move in by June. You can't. But I know Beazer right next door. They only have like 3 or 4 homes, and it's all inventory.
Yep.
Go see them. As fast as they saw, it's one less builder.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. And if they go over there and they find that it's not for them, they don't like it, but they respect you for the fact that you weren't trying to negative sell them against, trying to buy someplace else, or, there's a integrity and a respect factor, I think, that grows from it, and people will come back. So they may say June, but how often do people say, hey, I got to be in next 60 days. And then they're like, you know what? I'm not finding anything. I'm willing to rent now. Now I'm willing to rent, and we're going to build something. So I'll take, whatever timelines you got. And it's because of, some of those factors that they'll actually come back to you. Yeah. You didn't scare them away.
Yeah. I think people appreciate like the genuine, just helping out more than just constantly trying to sell.
Yeah. So. What's your competition like right now? What do you have?
We don't have much out here right now. So we actually compete in my immediate area. There's only 3 of us right now. Beazer is about done, and Taylor Morrison across the street, but they have no lots. So I'm like the only guy in the game. Yeah. But we also compete against Lake Nona.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you're just outside of it.
Yeah, I'm just on the backside of Loria Park. So
Yeah.
it's like 10 minutes and you get a lot more house here. So now what I'm finding out is I have a lot more competition. I don't want to tell my management because they want me to do CMAs for them. But I know I'm competing against them, right?
Right.
So I have to know all about Lake Nona, all about their Lake Nona CDDs and all their fees and what they're offering.
Yeah.
And then so what I find myself, I have to sell this area. So it's kind of the same thing we did in Winter Garden.
Yeah.
We sold the shit out of the community, right? The community, the community. And back then, you're selling like the dream because nothing was there. There was no Walmart, Publix, movie theater. It was all coming.
Yep.
So
it's still in that process of coming. There's a lot there now, but there's still a lot to come.
But the people that listened back then, they were buying 3,000 square foot homes for $350.
Yep. Now
they're selling for $425.
If not more than that. I mean, golly, some of the value over in that area has skyrocketed.
You're welcome.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks for listening.
We should send a copy of this episode to all of our past clients in our old community. What do you think?
Yeah, because then there was none. So you had to sell the area. You had to sell the community.
Yep.
So I'm finding myself have to do the same thing. I have less competition, but the competition I do have is actually a little further out.
Yeah.
So, and then I am here because home buyers talk. Like they go to the different builders. So they'll go to one builder and be like, oh, dude, I just talked to the guy down there. He is horrible or she's horrible.
Yep.
And they're like, I'll never buy a house there. So
yeah.
I love when people come and say stuff like that. That's cool, man.
That is true. That's cool.
Take a look. Let me know Let me know if you need anything.
What do you think about so when you have even in small competition, but for me, obviously having 9 different builders right here, incentive information, like in sharing that. I mean, what do you feel about it?
I'll tell. I don't care about incentives.
You care to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
Okay. I
like to know, but it does. I mean, like you got Taylor Morrison across the street, their incentive, but they do. So they have different product lines. They're like 40, 50, 60, and they have different incentives for each one. So you got to know that because people come in, they're offering me half off at $30,000. I'm like, well, and then you got to realize
buyers don't understand that too.
Yeah, but then you have to educate them. Also, is what you. So I like to know is what's their option cost? Because you know people who built at other builders. We worked with somebody who built a Taylor Morrison home, and she told it like their option cost is crazy. Like they go up like level 8. I mean,
yeah.
So you got to compare that also. So they might be giving you more, but they're also charging you more. Or somebody might have a lower base price, but their option cost is more.
Yep.
So that's why I like to tell people to do the preview nights for if they're looking at my house or looking at somebody else, do both preview nights and compare it. If you like everything equally, compare it and then.
That's a good point. I like that too. I like to know. I'll tell you listen, people come in here and sometimes you can see like they're trying to beat around the bush and almost be shopping-esque, and I'm like, listen, I'm an open book, man. Like it's all half of it's either public knowledge or, it doesn't, hurt me for you to know stuff like this isn't, we're not covert ops here. So, I'll tell you anything you want to know, but I always find it funny, sometimes when you're doing our CMAs and we're out there asking, hey, what did you sell? What was your incentives? And then you get some false numbers and you're like, come on, like I know that's not true. I don't get that part. Because there's times where there's a benefit because especially in my situation with so many builders in the area, there's been times in the past where a customer will come in and they'll try to pin us against one of the other sales. So the benefit of having a relationship with the other sales consultants and knowing what their offerings are, that's huge because there's times where you might all of a sudden be desperate for a sale and you're thinking, I've got to give away the entire house in order to make this. In reality, you don't because they've completely fabricated what quote unquote builder B next door is offering. Yeah. And I've had times where I've been able to just call them out and be like, hey, so I know you don't think that like we talk, but like I've actually got a really good relationship with him. And I've got a text message from an hour and 20 minutes ago that says, this is what he's offering, So I think there's a big benefit in that too.
Yeah. Um, so somebody, one of our salespeople was asking about your community. So she works in your community.
Oh, the one who just came in, right?
Yeah. So I've been trying to get you to tell us what you do, because Lake Nona, CDD, Serenoa, CDD.
CDD, yeah.
Right? I sell against the CDD. You sell a CDD.
Absolutely.
So help it
I
out.
wouldn't buy a house if it did not have a CDD on it.
It's so bullshit. Oh god.
Oh man, sorry, that was funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm waiting for the question. Go ahead.
So how do you sell the CDD? Help people out.
So, the CDD is tough, and here's, especially when you have agents that come in with it. So all realtors have their own different biases and opinions and thought processes. And I don't think, CDDs are kind of, I don't want to say newer, but they're growing, right? So you're seeing them pop up more and more, here in Central Florida. So with all these growth, or these communities rather, right? So typically you're going to find these in these big master plan communities. Concept wise is the developer that's developing the community is literally taking a bond out to pay for. You can either one say that you're going to charge the buyer the CDD fee, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets paid on an annual basis, or you lump sum and you take the base price of the home and what the cost of that is, and you just jack that up, an extra 20 grand or whatever the division is per home site, right, or lot. So, I mean, it's the fees are there, in a big master plan type community like that. It's just, how is it being put forth, right? So are you paying it up front in a mortgage, right, with in the home price, or is it separated and you're basically paying it on an annual fee? Does that make sense? Are you taking notes right now? That's what it looks like. No. Listen, this is recorded. You'll be able to see this later.
I can watch. I can rewatch this.
Yeah, you can rewatch this. This is all right. So, I just talk about it as a benefit because it's making sure that the community development is continuing to go because the money is there, rather than a developer waiting on homes to be sold, lots to be bought by each individual builder, and then build that fund to move forward in the process, right? So the slower the sales, process is at the beginning, would be the slower the community can develop. So with that money, for example, my community right now, we've got this huge amenity center, clubhouse, pool. I mean, it's got the works. It's resort style. They would not have been able to build that up front. So when these homeowners are moving into the community, they're able to enjoy it. The first set of buyers and homeowners, they're going to enjoy that right away versus have to wait 5-10 years down the road for the community to build and sell out. And then they're going to say, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and build your clubhouse now. And you got homeowners that are living there for 10 years thinking, well, I'm ready to move now and didn't get to enjoy it once. But that's why I bought for the community. So, I mean, there are definite benefits to it, in that regard. It's not just, hey, I want to make some extra money, I'm going to charge you. So, obviously, people sell against it all the time. So how do you sell against it, Richie? What do you say about me?
I'll say anything about you. Let's talk about the fees, because there's no cap. Like fees, the CDD can go up every year. There's no cap.
What part can go up on the CDD?
The fee.
So it's a smaller portion of the fee. So the fee is broken up into the debt portion, which is the actual bond that was taken out, and then you have the O&M, right? And that's the operation and maintenance, and that's basically that is the portion that can increase based on the need of that management team and making sure that everything's being held together. So
that's no different than HOA, though.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's a little bit the same. The HOA, of course, can increase year over year with operating costs and all of that. So people don't think about every year, things are getting more and more expensive, gas prices, it's supply and demand, there's logistics and the cost of living and everything. As it increases, so do the supplies and materials and efforts of an HOA to maintain the community that you purchase in, right? You want it to always look beautiful. And with that being said, in order to maintain that, cost in 2 years are going to be different, than it was yesterday.
Yeah. It's just
So,
when there's an HOA and a CDD, it kind of.
yeah.
So, because, you're going to pay to take, I sell against Laureate Park.
Mm-hmm.
CDD is like $2,400 a year.
Yeah.
That's plus their HOA. So that's another $200 a month on your taxes. That $200 in a mortgage, it would increase, what kind of home you can get. So
absolutely. Definitely changes buying power for sure. I think if you go look at a community though of a larger scale, say 5 years ago. So if you look at that, and a lot has changed, it's completed, it's done. Does it have the clubhouse and all the features that it was, basically selling up front as having? What is the condition of it? Is it still being maintained? There's a lot of factors in that change, over the years. So, but look at Laureate Park. So Laureate Park, yeah, it's a cost of living for sure. You're paying for a lifestyle,
yeah.
And that is being developed because there's a fund there, and that fund is being collected year in and year out. So that is going to continue to grow, and they've got big plans. It's not, they're not just throwing up, crap that nobody wants. They're throwing up the really nice, stores and shops. They look good. They're, it fits the style that they're going for the community. So, definitely it's a benefit, and you're paying for it, it's like 55 plus, right? 55 plus communities. So they're growing, right? And it's a wave, that'll be a topic for another episode.
They have 55 plus condos.
Yeah. Ooh, well, definitely that'll go on that next episode. But a big thing in that is typically your cost in the HOA is higher because it's a lifestyle, right? You're paying for that lifestyle because there's so much that's put in there. It's the same thing in the Laureate Park community or in my community now. So
you can look at other communities in Orlando that have CDDs, like Celebration. It's still nice, right?
Still nice.
Baldwin Park.
Yep.
Baldwin Park was built on a bomb site. Right?
Yeah. I get to drive through it when I go to the VA hospital down there, though. So
that's the one you go to?
Occasionally. I had to do my my CMP down there, and otherwise I go to Lake Nona mostly, or I got a Claremont clinic.
Oh, do you? Is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like those communities are still nice, and they're old now, so those are well maintained. And again, Laureate Park's a lifestyle. Like
Celebration was a lifestyle.
Yeah, like Ginger wants to move to Laureate Park.
Yep.
But I refuse.
Yeah.
I refuse to. The houses you get there, it's incredible. Like they're so small. There's no privacy.
Yeah.
No yard. But it literally is a lifestyle. You just walk around.
It's harder to get now, though. You know what I mean? With a lot of the new construction, it's a lot of high density type homes being built. It's harder to get. If you really want land, you got to go further away. You got to get out there.
Go to Claremont.
Or you're looking for an older, or you come to me. I got some pretty decent size lots out here, and some good size homes. So.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I just turned it into a commercial.
You did.
Yeah.
You be selling on this podcast?
Just teasing, kind of.
That's right. Nobody made it this far. Everybody only watches it like 1 minute.
Yeah,
increments.
Exactly. That's why we're safe. We're safe at this point.
We could literally stop right now and nobody would know.
Nobody would know. Just like a straight cold cut, right?
We could just be staring at each other for the rest of the time.
That would be awkward. Because like the one or two people that like finished the episode, they'd look at it and think, "What happened? Did I miss the audio?"
All right, let's go back to selling. Selling in a heavily dense area, a lot of competition. How do you make yourself stand out? Against everybody else.
So it kind of makes me think of, you said you've got for your company has a new sales rep out here, and That's a great example, right? So being new in the area, coming in, the newest builder, newest sales rep, all of that, that's a great thought for her, right? Because I think it's a her, right? So with that, I would say, one, go to each of the other builders and just do an introduction, just get to know who are your people that you're working with. Like, yeah, you're not in the same sales office. You're not working with them, side by side every day, but relatively same community. I mean, you are working with them. Do an introduction, get to know them a little bit, let them know, who you are, what you're doing. I think that's going to be big. So you want to build that relationship. So I think that's something that nobody really does. Like, it's very, very few people that get out there and get to know the area, because you could find out more information too. You could get to, maybe there's something about the area that you don't know about, that you could learn from one of them. And then vice versa, right? So, making sure that your area. We always go to new communities, right? So when we go to a new community, we don't buy a house based on where we sell out of, because we can move after 3 months, after 6 months, we might be somewhere for 2 years. And, there's times where we might be living in one area, we happen to work in that area, and then all of a sudden we're someplace completely different. So I think knowing the area itself is also going to be extremely important, because it's going to make you knowledgeable, right? So if you put that effort forth and the other 8 builders, or builder sales reps do not do that, you're already setting yourself apart from them just based on area knowledge, right? So I think you need to know, and you touched on it, construction, your construction techniques and tactics, because they're going to be a little bit different. Knowing exactly what you guys do and selling your value, what makes you guys valuable in your building styles. I think that's big too. And then just kind of the incentives, right? So we talked about incentives and knowing what their offerings are. Also, like, for example, we have the largest one-story floor plan. So, but I wouldn't know that if I haven't done my research. So somebody coming into the area, they're like, listen, I just want a huge one-story floor plan, and they're looking everywhere. And I know that they're out there looking. Well, what do I think about that? If I don't know that I'm the largest, well, now I'm, trying to come up with an objection to that, right? Like, well, actually, I mean, you're going to want this because of whatever. Like, that objection's already overcome because I am the largest one story. You know what I mean? So knowing other floor plans and that, I think, is a big benefit too, going into a new community. Marketing and getting yourself out there, that's, just depends on your type and personality. I mean, the companies should be marketing, having relationships, realtors, of course, is a big one. And you can do, some social media stuff's huge now. Everybody's kind of doing that. Just try to make sure you get your info and your name out there as much as possible. But I think those are some of the big key things to think about.
Right.
Yeah. What would you think to add on that?
I used to do, when everybody goes to a community, they always want a brochure. So they just have stacks of brochures in their car. I used to make a tag, like a luggage tag, and I had a stamp, and it was like an old vintage tag. I would stamp it, and then tie it with some string to the folder, and I get it, and it made it stand out. Like so you move it, it flaps around. But the construction thing is huge. You have to be able to know what your competition is doing, and so that way you can sell the value of your own home. And then, because sometimes you might be priced higher, and you have to be able to tell them why you're priced higher. It could be construction, it could be what's included, and then I always like to know what other people, the other competition's floor plans, because somebody walks in like, oh, I just saw a house I really like, over at David Weekley. Oh yeah, which one? Whatever. Oh, that one's nice. You should check ours out. It's pretty similar.
Exactly.
Like better,
Yep.
So you just have to know. The more you know, the better you can sell. Actually, the more you know, the less you have to sell.
True. Yeah. You can make it sell itself.
Yeah. So that's all, So
That's cool.
let's get on out of here. Brian's got to go to work, sell a house.
Yes, right.
Guys, thanks for joining. Episode 15, another quarantine edition. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio soon. Y'all have a good week.